We tend to think of artificial intelligence or AI as a modern invention, but the concept has deep roots in history. Ancient myths contain examples of machines that were conscious and capable of human-like thinking. The ancient Greek myth of Jason and the Argonauts includes a giant bronze robot called Talos, programmed to protect Crete from invaders. An ancient Indian legend tells of automatons guarding Buddha's relics. Inventors such as Leonardo da Vinci attempted to build mechanical men, whilst charlatans pretended to create working chess computers, such as the Mechanical Turk, with a human player hidden within. The beginnings of modern AI can be traced to early modern philosophers' attempts to describe the process of human thinking as mechanical processing of symbols. Hobbes and Descartes described life in analogy to a machine, something which persists today, as we sometimes use concepts from AI to explain biological cognition. Advances in mechanical computing developed through the work of Charles Babbage and Ada Lovelace. By the early 20th century, people began to wonder if human thought could be described in a mechanical manner, and if so, then perhaps a machine could be created that would think like a human. Karel Čapek's play R.U.R., Rossum's Universal Robots, explored a sci-fi scenario of humans and androids. It was enormously influential, and the questions it raises persist to this day. Many advances in computing were made during World War II, such as the UK's Colossus, used to break the codes of the Wehrmacht, and the US's ENIAC, applied to modelling nuclear explosions. With the advent of high-speed digital computers applied to widespread commercial and governmental purposes after World War II, the modern era of AI began. In 1950, Alan Turing, one of the key engineers of the Colossus computer, wrote a pivotal paper on how to build intelligent machines and proposed a mechanism to test them. A Turing test would consist of two entities having a text-based conversation, at least one of them human. The Turing test would be considered passed if a human participant was convinced that their conversation partner was another human being and not a machine. In recent years, such tests might even involve listening to an audio statement or attempting to discern if a photo of a human face is a real person or not. Over time, it's become increasingly difficult for most people to tell the artificial apart from reality. This is one reason why embedding ethics into these technologies is so important. The specific term artificial intelligence was coined in 1956 at a workshop at Dartmouth College in the United States. Their goal was to spend 6 weeks creating computers that could use language, form abstractions and concepts, solve kinds of problems now reserved for humans, and improve themselves. This workshop identified artificial intelligence as a field of engineering research. The people who attended that workshop were very influential in the field of AI research for decades. There was tremendous optimism at the time. The group largely believed that intelligence would be solved within a decade or two at most. However, it soon became obvious just how limited hand-coded primitive AI was when faced with the complexities of the real world. A long AI winter set in, which didn't really thaw until the advent of deep learning techniques around 2010, which demonstrated that a lot more is possible with machine learning techniques such as neural networks than people had assumed. At this point in time, it's best to think of the term artificial intelligence as a category that contains a lot of related terms. There is no commonly agreed upon single definition. This is especially the case because the field has developed a great deal since its inception. The first AI techniques, before the advent of machine learning in the 1980s, had to be programmed by hand and were not able to learn from data sets, virtual experiences. Technologies are often described as AI until we start to take it for granted, and then we simply start to think of it as a tool and not AI per se. At its core, Artificial intelligence refers to the ability of machines to exhibit somewhat human-like intelligence. In other words, the ability to think and act like rational humans. Of course, what exactly human intelligence is where things get confusing. Typical capabilities of agents with intelligence include the ability to combine sensory data in order to perceive the environment, to obtain knowledge and apply it to a problem, to come up with a solution, and to take action for the purpose of achieving goals. Artificial intelligence today is able to replicate many of these functions. However, few systems successfully integrate multiple functions together. We can mimic the approximate function of an optical cortex, perhaps, but not an interconnected brain. Despite the power of today's AI techniques, they still aren't yet truly comparable to cognition per se. Moravec's paradox points out that many things that can be mastered by a toddler of 2 years of age, including perception, walking, gripping, basic speech, are challenging for computers, and yet computers can perform very complex mathematical tasks. Today's AI aren't yet truly thinking systems. Instead, they function more like our subconscious processes. The state of the art in AI could perhaps better be described as artificial intuition. If and when AI becomes capable of learning common sense and abstract reasoning, it will be orders of magnitude more capable. As the diverse nature of the field defies being pinned down to a single definition, we're going to explore the many terms that fit under the category of artificial intelligence in the videos in this lesson.